Hello my lovelies and welcome to World of Mike. Today you join me on a very special Spitfire day, which is issue number 100. Now there's a lot of discussion whether you continue the build after this or whether you leave it at 100. Obviously the other 20 odd issues is basically diorama pieces, as you can see. You get like a ammunition storage box lid, storage box handles, and an armor loading the ammunition and a figure. So it's basically just extras. I have made the decision to stop at 100. For me, I don't want figures everywhere. I don't want the sort of diorama sort of effect to it. So I made the decision to cut this at 100 and stop there. But really why this video is special is because obviously, as you know, my plane is a little bit all over the place at the moment. And really what's going to be happening is I have been talking to some of my friends who have some of the earlier issues, and the plan of action, obviously, we know that we've got issues at the front of the build. We know we've got issues at the back of the build. So really it's just to I'm going to be replacing a lot of parts. So we're going to be replacing issue 6, issue 5, issue 7. The replacements will go up to issue about 10, and then obviously we just have to look at the issue. We have to take each issue as it comes and look at it and try and figure out what needs replacing, you know, stuff like that. What do we do to salvage this? As I said, I'm not one for giving up. It is a shame it's cost me another £30 to fix it, but it is what it is. I mean, if you look here, this is how the plane is at the moment, and obviously it's got a hell of a lot of work to do. This is what I'm saying. I think obviously the priority here is to try and get the front more than anything, and then really it's to just try and work at the back of it as well. We know that we've got all the towel because I've got that, but I sort of gave up on it because I wanted to get this middle section here. We know that obviously this build has had complications. We've been told to not assemble anything from issue 93 onwards. I think a lot of builders have, not built any further than that because obviously it means stripping it all the way back again. There's things like motors that I've got to replace, all the wires, all this along here. Some of the parts I've already got, like the top of the wing, the skin of the wing, but a lot of it needs replacing. And really this is sort of like a restoration project for me. So that's the plan of action. We're going to be doing basically bringing it back to the schedule, but basically doing a little bit of the front, a little bit of the back, a little bit of the front, a little bit of the back, until we can try and get it really salvaged, really. I am annoyed with myself with how this has been filmed because it hasn't been the best. I mean, it's been filmed all over the place. It's not in order. If you look at videos like Eddie Stobart, I filmed that in order. This one's been here, there and everywhere because I've tried to work around issues that we've had gaps on. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a long road for restoration. But that is basically why this video is going to be special, because obviously we're going to be doing issue number 100, and basically it will still be filmed all over the place, so it's not necessarily going to be in order, but the plan of action is to take look at each issue, open the page up and go, right, okay, so we're working on a remote, can we assemble that? Looking at it, oh yes, we can get all round there, lovely. And then obviously on the back here, yeah, that's brilliant, we can assemble that. And yeah, basically that is basically what we're going to be doing. So to kickstart this, we're going to be doing the remote here. I'm not going to be turning the remote on because, as you know, the plane does have severe delays on it. But basically this is what we're going to be working on, the remote control. It was a bit emotional when I, because I had a hard decision to make, and I was thinking, do I continue this on or do I not? Because if I don't continue it on, I could regret it. And a small part of me regrets, because obviously in the back of this, we had a sheet that has 2 minutes. So in the back of this, we had a sheet that looked like that. So obviously that's plastered to the back. It's all cellophaned, and it didn't show me what was in the next issue. So then when I opened it, I was like, damn, I've cut this too early, because I quite like the look of that. But, you know, for me, I've got to, you know, draw it at some point. And for me, 100 was a good stopping point. Obviously, as we know, this build has had complications. They've got replacement parts that we've got to, as you can see, we have found some issues with the performance of the model, and we are providing you with replacement parts and instructions to rectify this. Obviously, the other problem I've got is if the replacement is in another issue that's after 100, then that's fine. I mean, I'm not fussed at that stage. Yes, I think I've cut it too early, but secondly, it does mean that if I do have to get that replacement, I can always ask my friends and they'll be happy to get it for me. But the main priority on this at the moment, we're nowhere near at the replacement stage at this moment. The priority here is to get the plane, the body of it sorted. But yeah, basically they've had, it's basically all replacements. I mean, look at all of that lot we've got to get out. So really for me, I could see as soon as they said about, you know, complications with the print board, I could see there was problems with this, and I just, you know, we're at a good stopping point. For me, that's great, because all this that's got to come up, I don't have to do that, because I'm at a point where I don't have to strip it all back, so that's good for me. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started on this lovely remote. And this will not be hardwired. What I mean by that is it's not going to be hardwired, sorry. This will not be hard scheduled. What I mean by that is it's just going to crop up as and when. It's not a build that is going to be scheduled, because obviously it's got quite a lot of work that needs to be done to it. So obviously in here, this is plastic. We've got a lovely wire here, and obviously the top of the remote, and it's lovely and camouflaged. And we've got this lovely circuit board. So this is the part that is not broke. So oh, they're nice. They're actually plastic, so plastic buttons. This feels so weird, because like this is the first ever remote I've done. I never did the Terminator remote, so for me this is like, wow. I sort of regret doing the Terminator on a subscription, because I seem to get more ahead on, you know, getting it weekly, but this is basically where we are on that. So first things first, we have to basically get the part that we want, like so. So we're going to get this lovely bit. We just put them to one side for a minute. Put them like that. We're going to be getting this lovely circuit board out. So yeah, as I said, I know sometimes you think, sorry. I know some of you think I've given up on builds because I don't, you know, record them anymore. It's not that. It's because one or two things. I've either got parts that need replacing, or, you know, I've got too much on the schedule, so I'll have to pause one, or I might just take a break from it. But I will never give up on a build. So yeah, basically this is the remote. And as you can see, it is directional, because obviously on the back of here, you've got a circle at the top, and then obviously the circuit board that this little wire connects to is onto that. So what we're going to do is put this one into the little compartment. If I think that might go around the other way, actually. Right, that's a bit naughty, because as you can see, it's twisting them wires down there, but that is the way it goes. And then basically it wants us to just hold that in for the minute, and it says you may need to turn the plug over, so that's fair enough. So we're going to hold that for 1 minute. It doesn't want us to do anything at this stage, so I'm going to leave that like that, because the next part, what it wants us to do is to bring in the actual remote here. So this is quite good, so I'll go into that a little bit later down the line. But what we're going to do is going to put the buttons in, so they're going to go into here. So we don't have to, you know, individually take them off the sprue. They're all sort of there ready. And then we put the cross button, which is this one here, and that goes in at the top. And then we put the little on and off button, which looks like that, and that sits at the top of there. Now obviously it doesn't say anything about gluing, but what we now have to do is basically pull this over here, and this has got to be, oh gosh, right, so basically it so it's got to obviously fit down there, but you can see there's not much slack on that. So what I'm assuming is I'm assuming they want it to go like that. So if we was to pull it like that, so that goes like that, and then I think what you'll find is that just sits over the top like that. But it could be that we need to, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm going to remove that tape, because this tape is a little bit, I mean, there's no obvious, it's a little bit too tight down the back of here. So if we put that back there, that gives us a little bit of slack to then move that round there and plumb it in like that. So we'll have something that looks like that, and then that will turn over. But obviously remember that the buttons have got to face into here. So we'll have something that looks like that. That'll go into there. Obviously I'll just make sure that that tape's holding it down a smidge. So we move that round a bit. Just make sure it's lovely dead in the centre there. Or just make sure it's like lovely and flat. And then obviously we can then put the buttons down there like so, and then that's into there and sits over the top like that. Oh, that's a bloody old chunky remote, isn't it? Wow. Okay, so I think, make sure it's all tickety-boo. I think we have a winner chicken dinner, guys. So that's going to be slipping and sliding until we get the first screw in. But yeah, so that's that. But before we do that, we've missed a step here. Sorry, I'm so excited about this remote, I'm missing steps. But basically we're going to put two PW screws into these two holes here. And I think that's just so that it stops it sliding about when we screw it in, really. It feels so weird working on this again, because I haven't worked on this build for God knows how many months. So obviously, again, remember this is a circuit board, so don't over tighten it. If you over tighten it, you could crack it and then you're in deeper problems. So yeah, don't do that. Just move that there. Well, I've took many remotes apart over the years, because as a kid I used to take things apart because I always was fascinated with how, I think we've all done it really, we've took things apart to see how they work. And for me, yeah, I've never done anything like building a remote before, so this is quite lovely actually. So then we're going to put a PB screw up through the top of here into this back one here. So that's that one, and then we'll put two in the back of here. Obviously I wanted to go from issue 7 and then move it up like that, but I can't, because obviously because they're so early issues, it's going to be quite difficult to get them from issue 8 onwards. So yeah, we just have to do what we can do. But yeah. So did I put one? I can't remember where I put that. Was that in that one? Yeah. So the last one's in this one here. So yeah, the next point after this issue, I will look back over issue 98 sorry, 99, and see if we can do that. But yeah, because I really would like to get the towel part done, if I'm honest with you. I'd like to get the towel first and then work at the front. See what really we can do. But that is gorgeous. And then obviously, I'm not going to put my backwards in there yet because we're nowhere near testing it at this stage. But as you can see, very lovely design. You slide that on like that. That clips into there. And then we get another screw that goes into the back of there. And we get to screw that down. And that goes in with a PB screw as well. So yes, I haven't given up on this. But it is going to be a challenge. But as I said, I know there's people out there that, you know, they can't get the parts and they'll just get rid of it. But I'm not like that. I personally feel that we can rescue this plane, and I personally feel that we can get it fixed. But there we go. That is the remote. That's beautiful. So what we need to do next is just test that all the remotes work. So can you hear that click? So that click noise means that the buttons are working, they're pushing against the little button inside. And yeah, I mean, it's very, very chunky, if I'm honest with you. It's quite, I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest remotes I've worked on, like width-wise, or depth-wise, if you like. But yeah, it's a nice little chunky remote. It's a shame we can't test it at this stage, but I have every firm belief that this will get, that we will get this moving again. God is guiding the way. As a Christian myself, I do firmly believe that God will provide us with the issues that we need, and we will get this up and running as quickly as we possibly can. I'd like to get it all fixed and repaired and restored, if you like, by the summer. That would be nice. If not, it is what it is. It's a restoration project. It will take as long as it takes. But I hope you like that video. We've got another issue with Build the Spitfire done. And yeah, so basically, as you can see, we've got a start up, take off, guns, light on, landing, Morse. Don't know what Morse means. Then we've got turn off display, flying, and full flight. So, and then obviously that gives you a guide of what all the buttons do. So yeah, really, really good. So that is issue number 100. As I said, I will not be going any further than issue number 102. They said that they're providing replacement parts. My gut feeling is that they're going to be in 102 onwards. So it could be that I have to reset up the file again. And yeah, I personally think I've cut it too short. You know what I'm like, I race into things and then don't think before I race into it. But yeah, at the moment, as I'm not fussed about the board at the moment. The main issue at the moment is to get the next challenge really over the next couple of weeks is really working on this back part. If we can get the tow on, then that's an achievement, and you know, we're another step closer to getting the, you know, the front of it sorted out. And then obviously once we've got all the tow on, there's a reason why I stopped here, and I can't remember why. It's been such a long time. So the plan of action now will get the tow on and then really work on this other motor that's got to sit here. And then that's where we're going to hit a problem with that board. And then obviously sort out the front as well. But that is Build the Spitfire. Please remember that the Spitfire will not be hard scheduled. It will crop up as and when. But that is your remote, guys. Hope you like that video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. We'll see you again very soon for Build the Spitfire, coming again very soon. Take care, guys. Have a lovely evening ahead. Bye-bye now.